Audio Jungle. Good morning, Lions TV. Welcome to Breakfast with Jacqueline. Here I have a protein dark chocolate muffin from Trader Joe's, and I'm here with.
Mr. Robertson from the Social Studies Department.
And we're here to show the exciting news about his PBL class. So, what is your class?
I teach economics, and as all the seniors are aware, this is a class that is required for graduation. So what we wanted to do this semester, myself and the other economics teachers, such as Mr. Fermaglich, we wanted to make it a little more interesting and show how these economic concepts can apply to something in the real world that we use on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, and how do you apply these economic concepts in your classroom?
So what we did was we identified several economic concepts such as supply and demand, budgeting, sunken cost, and we're basically teaching them through like the prism of economics first, and then after that we're teaching them to you guys, the students, how it applies to fantasy baseball, and then ultimately in each of the classes there's teams set up and they're going to draft a fantasy baseball team using these concepts that we have identified.
And what is the title of your PBL class?
Economics through fantasy baseball.
And from a teacher's point of view, how is PBL different from a regular class?
Well, normally when we teach whatever it is in economics, right, concepts, personal finance, we try and explain to the students how it applies to everyday life. And sometimes students get it, sometimes they don't. What's different about this is we're not just explaining to them how these concepts apply to day-to-day life, they're doing it through fantasy baseball. So they're actually using these concepts on something real. So instead of us just explaining how it applies, they're actually seeing themselves how these concepts apply.
And have you had any experts come into the class or even like talk to the class?
Actually, we have. We had the director of analytics from the New York Mets coming on a Google Meet, and he also had someone else from the player personnel department. Their names were Jared Faust and Michael Herman. And they spoke to the kids for a full 45 minutes, and we made up some questions. Most of them were serious economics questions, but we threw in some softballs for them just to keep it light. You know, some funny questions like who would win in a fight, Mr. Met or the Philly Fanatic?
And would you say your classroom has been more engaged with these PBL, projects?
Overall, I'd say yes, because the level of enthusiasm for some students is higher than it normally is. I'm not saying that every kid is psyched to do the draft. That's just not possible, like any other topic. But the students that are engaged, their level of enthusiasm is higher than usual because they're really looking forward to drafting a team and competing against their classmates.
So, Mr. Robertson, thank you for joining me during my breakfast. I give this a 4 out of 10. It could be better. And I heard you're a dad, so can you tell me a dad joke?
Actually, I can tell you a dad joke, maybe even two. So here's the first one. Why did the goat get punished?
Why?
Because he was bad.
And can you tell me a second one?
I can. Why couldn't the frog find his car?
Why couldn't he?
Because it was towed.
Okay, well, yeah. Mr. Okay, one more for Lions TV.
Okay, this is just for Lions TV. Okay. The cow was an astronaut. Where did he go?
To the moon.
You got to say it better than that. Come on, this is Lions TV.
Go ahead and say it for me.
He went to the moon.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robertson.
Hi, I'm Arian, and I'm here with Anthony and Aaron to discuss the Economic Fantasy Baseball project. Can you explain the process of the project?
Process is pretty nice because like we learn a bunch of basic concepts of economics like supply and demand and budgeting, and then we apply these to fantasy baseball.
Thank you. Did you meet or speak with anyone outside of the school?
We actually did. We met with some people from the Mets camp. They were in the financial and advisory departments, and it was really interesting talking to them because there's only so many Major League Baseball teams in the world, and those people hold those exact positions. So it's really crazy to be able to kind of talk to those people and hear their perspectives about their jobs.
Interesting. And how is that helpful?
It was really helpful because like they were able to answer a bunch of our concerns and questions. It was also really fun to speak to them.
Thank you. Why do you think this type of learning is helpful for students?
I think it's helpful for students because students are able to take part in something that they actually enjoy. It's not like a math project or like an essay. It's something that they actually enjoy doing. Major League Baseball, you're watching outside, you see, your favorite hitters, your favorite, shortstops, and you see the stats that they're putting up, and you get to add them on your own team and compete with your friends. So it's really fun.
Right, right. Well, thank you for that.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline from Lions TV, and I'm here with.
Mr. Fermaglich from the Social Studies Department.
And we're here to share some exciting work being done in a PBL classroom. So, what class is this?
This is economics, and what we're doing is we are doing a PBL, which is project-based learning, and we are showing how economic concepts can be found in baseball by doing fantasy baseball and learning about the economic concepts at the same time.
And how would you say this PBL project compares to the life project your economic class did last year?
Well, I say it's actually a little bit better because the students, they really like baseball, and even though the life project's about what they want to do with their life, baseball is what they're thinking about now more than even in 2 years. But both projects are getting the kids to do to do something that is important. Learning economics is extremely important, and learning what you want to do with your life is extremely important.
So, would you say the students are more involved?
I would say they were very involved in the last project, but they're even more engaged and involved in this one.
So, how has the use of outside industry experts helped?
Well, I think it's helped tremendously because the students see us every day, and it gets to be where, the teacher says this, teacher says that. But when they see people who are outside in the real world doing the job and using economic concepts and stuff that they've learned in school, they see that we're actually teaching them things that they need to know. We had the Mets come in, and they were talking about how they use economic principles in the drafting of players. And last year, I did a similar thing where we talked about what kind of jobs you could get in the future. And I had people come in. I had other teachers come in. I had a PT, a physical trainer, come in. And I even had a guy who was the writer for Boy Meets World and Saturday Night Live to talk about the entertainment business and how to get started in that.
Yeah, so would you say this PBL project has created an insight of students of what they want to do in the future?
I would say so. A lot of them came back to me or have emailed me and said that they've used things that we've done in the class, whether it be resumes or job interview techniques, or actually went for the jobs that their career coach said that they would be good at.
Okay, so I heard you're a comedian. Can you tell us some jokes?
Well, I tell a lot of jokes, but I'd like to talk and do some jokes from Rodney Dangerfield. He was a very famous comedian in the 70s and 80s, and he was actually born in Richmond Hill and spent the early part of his life here. And this is how Rodney Dangerfield would tell a joke. Oh, I tell you, my mother didn't like me. She said my mother didn't love me. She said she only liked me as a friend. I mean, I tell you, I'm so ugly, I stuck my face out the window. I got arrested for mooning. I'm a bad cook, I tell you. I didn't know toast could have bones. I bought my kid a BB gun. He bought me a t-shirt with a bullseye in the back.
Thank you so much, and thank you for telling us about what your PBL class has been doing lately.
Holy cow! How about that? Best of luck to all the fantasy teams, and remember, if you're not practicing, somebody else is, somewhere, and they'll be ready to take your job.
And how has the use of outside industry experts... Oh, I messed up. Good morning, Lions TV. Welcome to Breakfast with Jacqueline, and I'm here with...
Miss.
The microphone. The microphone. It could be better, but I heard you're a dad, so can you tell me a dad joke? Again, the microphone.
So I was going to go with that.